And we will be heading to the first report of the daily debate for tonight, focusing on the social protection programs and the social protection measures that were implemented by the Egyptian government ahead of the holy fasting month of Ramadan for the benefit of the Egyptians. We'll be having more details in the upcoming report. Stay tuned. Egypt launches expanded social protection measures ahead of Ramadan. Upon directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the government has updated the social protection package as part of the broader efforts to support the low-income families and mitigate the impact of the rising living costs. According to a statement released by the Ministry of Finance, the healthcare measures are designed to eliminate waiting lists and expand treatment coverage for the uninsured individuals. The provisions will designate urgent assistance ahead of Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr, while offering sustained economic support through the increased cash aid, healthcare allocations and wage hikes. This initiative marks a deliberate approach to shield low-income groups from the inflation's impact while reinforcing the Egyptian safety net programs. Simultaneously, it works to embed targeted assistance within an expansive socio-economic vision. The package includes additional cash support for 10 million families registered on the ration cards, costing the state 4 billion Egyptian pounds. Single-person ration card holders will receive an extra 125 Egyptian pounds, while the families of 2 or more will receive 250 Egyptian pounds for 2 months. Separately, families enrolled in the Takaful and Karam programs will benefit from the one-time payment of 300 Egyptian pounds during Ramadan, adding 1.5 billion Egyptian pounds to the program's costs. In the healthcare sector, the government has allocated 3 Egyptian billion pounds to treat the critical cases at state expense and eliminate the waiting lists for the medical procedures. These efforts align with the presidential directives to ensure urgent cases are resolved before Eid al-Fitr, reflecting the priority placed on the access to care for the uninsured individuals and the low-income households. Meanwhile, the wage increases for the state employees and the pension adjustments will take effect on the 1st of July in 2025. The minimum wage will rise to 7,000 Egyptian pounds and pensions will see incremental increases, with the government committing 170 billion Egyptian pounds to these changes. Public sector recruitment had also prioritized with plans to hire 75,000 teachers, 30,000 doctors and 10,000 administrative staff. The government is further addressing economic empowerment by creating an 10 Egyptian billion fund to support the vulnerable families and generate job opportunities for the youth. Assistance for the irregular workers is also being expanded, with grants for the registered workers increasing to 1,500 Egyptian pounds, costing 2 billion Egyptian pounds through June of 2026. Agriculture has not been overlooked to support the farmers facing rising costs. The local wheat procurement price has been raised to 2,200 Egyptian pounds per erdab, adding 6 billion Egyptian pounds to the government spending. Cotton farmers will also benefit from the subsidy of 2,000 Egyptian pounds per quintal, totaling 3.5 billion Egyptian pounds. These steps reflect an effort to stabilize the household finances amid the dual pressures of inflation and currency instability. The 2024-25 state budget, recently approved by the cabinet, includes substantial increases in spending on the social protections, healthcare and education. Education funding, for instance, will rise by 30%, though it remains below the constitutional requirement of 6% of the GDP. Healthcare spending also falls short of the constitutional benchmarks, though the new allocations aim to address the critical gaps. With the start of the holy month of Ramadan, the government is emphasizing the urgency of the interventions of it, aiming to provide tangible relief to millions of citizens.